Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to Shija's Chronicles. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to search for fully funded programs and other funding opportunities. Essentially, I'll be showing you how to search for institutions that offer funding in your program of choice. So like for instance, I'm interested in pursuing like a PhD in English. That's what I'm going to be using as an example for today's video, and perhaps even like I can do like a master's in mathematics. I'll be showing you how to like search for institutions that offer funding and how to navigate to those websites, because I recognize that this could be like a daunting task for some folks. You're unsure of like how to search, where to look at. It's actually quite simple because you see from how I search, like I just use like simple search terms. Essentially, what comes to mind, whatever I'm looking for, I just type it on my search engine and let Google do its thing, because that's the search engine that I typically would use. I use like Chrome browser, which with Google. So that was what works for me. And this video is actually geared towards graduate students. So if you're an undergraduate student, I will be doing another video later on to show you how to search for full tuition, full ride, and schools that offer like financial aid for international students later on. Also, you can check out this awesome resource and this toolkits page. Did a video about this about like 2 weeks ago, so you can check it out and go through this awesome resource, which is a complete guide for international students applying to US colleges. It talks about admission processes, how to search for scholarship opportunities, and I'm pretty sure as an undergraduate student you'll find it helpful. So now let's move on. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna be using PhD in English, and also I'll be using a master's in computer science, or did I say mathematics later on? Whichever one works later on. What I start with is I just simply type fully funded PhD in English. Well, this is right here for me, just like that. If it's like master's, fully funded master's in English, fully funded PhD in computer science, fully funded master's in computer science, I essentially just type those out. And whatever result pops up, I right click on it, open it in a new tab. And I open it in a new tab because I still want to have access to this main page. And sometimes I start this page, right? I had it to bookmarks. But I am not doing that right now. But for some folks, because you might want to be able to come back here, you can add bookmarks. You can start a page, add to your bookmarks, save it in a different name. Essentially, you can do whatever you want to do. And if you are using your phone as well, you have this option to you. I would open another page, all right, and another thing is, I can from this search result, you can already see like universities popping up, Vanderbilt University, and from the description, you can already kind of tell, yes, they offer fully funded programs. So I want to definitely check it out to see if I meet their requirement, or if I can meet their requirement, or even like if they meet my search criteria, because maybe they might be requiring GRE and I don't want to write GRE. So all of those other things, but I'm going to check everything out regardless, because I am just searching. I'm trying to know what opportunities are out there. Another thing I like to do is I like to click on uh, forums pages, or also like Reddit, like Quora, like Grad Cafe, whatever pops up. I right click on it, open in a new tab. I click on all of this as well. Sometimes I will click on like more results from Reddit, and I just go through to see. And I read through all the various responses that people provide on there. All right, let's go back. Now, I'm gonna just click on this. All right, then click on more universities. I open up like 10 tabs at once because I want to be able to like check all of this. Then I come back to the main page as well. So we're just gonna open just like I do. I mean, I'm not going to click on all of these tabs, but I just show you what I do. Okay, everyone might approach this differently, but this is what I do. So, for example, a lot of times I start on the universities page. The universities I've opened up, I started on the page. But sometimes I might also start on this. So let's just start on this fully funded PhD programs. So first thing first, I look at the hyperlink. Will it take me directly to the institution's page, or will it take me to another page on this particular website? So if it's going to take me to another page on this particular website, from the hyperlink, I don't know if you can see the hyperlink down below. I can tell that it's taking me to another page on this website. So I highlight first and I just search Google for. But for instance, let's check out this website. Let's see where the hyperlink will take us. If The hyperlink will take us, okay, right here. I can see that this hyperlink will take me directly to the institution's page. So I would click on this now, and it will take me directly to this page. So typically I would right click on it and let it take me directly to the page. So I would just do like let's check another university out. I do a right click, open in a new tab because I still want to have access to this space. Since there's still a bunch of information on there that I'm coming back to, I'm still checking out other schools. So that's what I typically would do. Right click, open up in a new tab. So let's close this out and let's go back on here. So I search Boston College Department of English, right? Remember this link, if I clicked on it, you can see would have brought me to another page here. And perhaps maybe I don't want to register on this website yet. I just want to search for information. So, but if you want to register, feel free to register and perhaps you might be able to get the link directly. So I would click on whatever comes up first. All right, brought me to the Department of English, and I'm looking for a PhD, so that's doctoral program. So I click on that, and then I search through, is there any financial aid information? Just right here, full funding. All PhD candidates are guaranteed to receive full tuition scholarships and competitive stipends for 5 years. And they provide the stipend, like, rates, which is $30,000. Awesome. So I know that they provide funding. So if let's say I'm trying to get more information about what other funding exists, or I'm trying to get the information about, okay, am I automatically considered upon admission? I scroll through and I try to check where can I find that information. Sometimes I check their frequently asked questions. It might be there, it might not be there. So let's check if it's here. And if it's not here, I can go to like maybe their graduate admissions page. Every school's website is so different. So this one just talks about supplementary forms of financial assistance. It doesn't tell me whether I'm automatically considered upon admission if I need a separate application. But it just tell me that if I'm admitted, yes, I'm gonna be fully funded. So let's for instance, I could go to their let's go back to the graduate school homepage and let's see. So graduate within this college. Let's see, is there a funding page? All right, I know that you offer, but do you automatically consider us? So let's check tuition and aid info. Okay, so under tuition and aid, let's see if they have anything. Okay, just right here, this is what I'm looking for. When you submit your application for admission, you're automatically considered for Boston College scholarships, fellowships, and assistantships. There is no separate aid application. So this is the information I'm looking for. It's right here, which is awesome. Okay, great. So I copy this link and then I paste it on my spreadsheet or in my spreadsheet, whatever you're using to like shortlist institutions that offer funding. So I'm gonna close this out, and perhaps I might do a different video on like a template I used to shortlist. You might find it out. So I think I might do that soon. All right. So let's close this out. Say I do the same thing for all of these websites. I'm not going to go through it one after the other, okay? But essentially, this is how I search. And let's say, for instance, this is Vanderbilt. I can already tell you that it's fully funded through what the first blob on here. I could still go on here to the PhD section under AIDS and award to get more information. And I get more specific information about the specific type of funding, like what it covers, as well as health insurance coverage. Sometimes I go through to check, okay, what type of funding is it? Is it going to be through fellowship? Is it going to be through research assistantships uh, or administrative assistantships? Like, what exactly is it? What type of assistantship is it? Or what type of funding is it? Is it a fellowship? Is it an assistantship? What exactly is it? So, also, another thing, like I mentioned, is to go to a forum, right? All right, so I'm on Reddit and someone asked a question, fully funded literature PhD programs in English. I mean, I said in English, in the US. I know that literature is related to English. So whatever school might fund a PhD literature program would possibly fund an English PhD program. So I'm going to scroll through and check their responses. I'm going to read through, did anybody provide any list of schools? Did they provide me with a link? I could just like, for instance, sometimes I'll click on this link. Not right now, I'm not. I'm just going to check did anybody provide a list of school. Okay, I see here Lehigh University in Bethlehem, PA. So I just would highlight that, search Google for, and then I would click on it. Since it's just a university name, I have to find my way to like the specific websites with funding information. Sometimes it could be on the general graduate schools page with funding information. However, I typically always start with the program I'm interested in first, then work my way down to the graduate school or graduate admission, tuition and aid page if I don't get the information I'm looking for on that program website. A lot of times I get the information on that program website. So where am I going through? Am I going through graduate studies or am I going through College of Arts and Sciences? So you have all of those options to you, because if you go through College of Arts and Sciences, it will probably show you other programs. You can see browse grad programs here. Well, I'm gonna do graduate studies just to show you another route. And through graduate studies, like I mentioned earlier, typically there will be a page for funding. So let's click on that page, but it might not give me the specific information I'm looking for. So they do have information about assistantships and tell you that most full-time doctoral students at Lehigh fund their education through multi-year Lehigh-based assistantships. All right, which is awesome, and they specify types of assistantship. But I also want to check, does my program specifically have funding opportunities? Now, graduate students, I have a video on my channel that explains the various types of funding. So if you are wondering what is assistantship, what is fellowship, what is she talking about? There's a separate video. I'm gonna link it below, put a description, put it in my what's it called? I'll put it in the description on this video. You know what I'm talking about. In the description box. And you can check that video out. I explain the various types of funding from scholarships to assistantships. Now, the information I'm looking for more PhD in English specific programs. So I'm going to click on graduate degree programs to see. And I am going to look for my program. So let's filter because it's PhD. All right. I'm going to filter to make it easier. I'm going to look for English because that's what I'm looking for. All right, they have English. Remember earlier the forum asked about PhD in literature, and sometimes the literature is like a subdivision in English. So I know, like, okay, and sometimes the schools separate it. So all right, so that information is not on here. Aha! Before I forget, another thing, you could always search on the page by Command F or Control F. You type funding. You could type funding. Um, you can type assistantship to see, like, maybe there's a lot of text on that page and you're trying to like delimit the options, so you can just Command F, Control F to see what comes up. You can type fellowship, so this would only search for information on this page alone. Okay, it won't search on other web page. But if you can use the university search as well, search function. For now I won't do this. I'm gonna go to on this program page, but I might do that after, just as an example, after we are done with this. So learn more about program. Click on that. Still my information. I'm still gonna go there. I'll be fine. It's the university's webpage. All right. So I'm looking for PhD program. All right. There's a funding section. I'm gonna first click on the PhD program to see, and I can see this information right here. But let's just say I'm using the Command F. Maybe there's a lot. Let's assume there's a lot of text on this page. You can already see because what I typed earlier, because I typed fellowship. I can already see some things about fellowship. I can already see some things about funding. Like if you don't want to read through the text, like this can help you, and you just do next, next. And right here, funding is guaranteed for 5 years. Following that, students can apply for additional funding. So I know that funding is guaranteed upon admission. So maybe this is a school I should potentially look into. I would also click on their funding page as well, just to see. It says full-time MA and PhD students are fully funded through teaching fellowships. So they specify the type of how they are funding them through teaching fellowships. So they didn't say through research, they didn't say through like engagement or administrative assistantship, they said through teaching fellowships. So, and they also put your international applicants are eligible to receive teaching fellowships just as domestic students are. So these will definitely check out, and they typically do not admit full-time students without offering financial support. So essentially this is how I search. And imagine I was using the university search function, right? Let's say, where did I see that earlier? I saw it somewhere. Where is that search function? Well, we're gonna go to the main page and use the search function from there. If I want to search through the university's website, I would type, because I know graduate students, a lot of opportunities are usually available through assistantships. That's what I'll first do. Assistantship. I search and see what result comes out there. And I kind of already see some of these things. right? You can see some results already. Which brings me to another aspect or another thing, another way I try to search. So say for example, the program I'm interested in does not really have a lot of funding, but I want to check if there are other departments on campus, other administrative departments or student life departments have funding opportunities. Because here in the US, a lot of times we find that there are other departments on campus, non-academic department, okay, on campus that actually have assistantship opportunities that would actually cover your tuition and provide you with a stipend. So I'm interested in this school, but my program does not have enough assistantships. So I would want to check if there are other departments on campus that actually offer assistantship opportunities to students that will cover tuition and stipend. And one thing you want to definitely take note of too is like what they cover. Is it partial? Is it full tuition? Because depending on the school, it's not all the assistantships at all the universities that cover your tuition in full. Okay, and stipend varies depending on funding, depending on the institution, so you want to take note of that. So remember I tapped assistantship, and one of the things I can see here is graduate assistantship, graduate education and life. So I'm like, what is this about, I also right click on this to see. Hmm, okay. And then I see something else. I'm just gonna click on the first three. So I see graduate education and life. I'm guessing this is a department or campus. I To learn more about them, I will do about us to see what department is this. So this is their graduate. I'm guessing this is the name of their graduate office, essentially. So their graduate office, there's information about assistantships, and it says click here to view positions. So I'm gonna do that. All right. So there's an online application, but they are currently closed. So let's imagine they are open, right? Actually, they have other assistantships that you can apply for that are not embedded within an academic department. So we're gonna try and see if we can view this. I'm gonna take a little bit of sip of water because I am parched. I don't know why. Oopsie. All right. Awesome. And this is just a description of the assistantship, student center facilities and SCF operations. You work as a member of the dean of student staff, and you receive an allotted monthly stipend and 18 credit hours per year. So this specify what your assistantship will cover, and this tells you like okay the description. So it's not they're not requiring a specific degree, and they tell you what you will be doing. You'll be overseeing, I guess, responsible for inputting and updating information, overseeing like digital information boards and a bunch of other things like that. So you'll be working with this office. So you can already see, okay, they can check other ones as well. I mean, these are closed now, but it's just an example of opportunities, funding opportunities that are outside of an academic department, that are not research, that are not teaching. These are more administrative assistantships. Schools have different names for them. Some schools would be like engagement assistantships. I've seen different things, but this is just an example of what I am talking about. And then let's close this out. Let's move on to using another institution. Oh, I opened up other pages, but these are just what I'm talking about essentially. Like I guess this one just tells you how to find opportunities on this campus. You definitely want to look at this if it's like an institution you're applying to. Like schools have all necessary information and various details like that. And this one is just like within the College of Education, one of the links that I clicked that brought me to like a page with an endowed assistantship, which shows how to apply. But remember, like everything is different. Now, for this particular one, they're telling you that oh, you have to apply and your should include this. But for some other programs, it might be automatically considered. So these are various things that you want to kind of take note of as you search and as you look for all these opportunities. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to just use a different program as an example again. Uh, let's see, what did I say I was going to use earlier? Oh, and before I forget, let's say you're interested in studying in a different country like Australia. You can just type fully funded. Let's say I'm interested in PhD in economics. Mm, in let's say Australia. All right, you can see like you get a bunch of results as well. And as usual, I typically just open in a new tab, and just keep scrolling down till like you get what you need essentially. So this is just an example, and I'm sure this school they'll probably have funding because that's why we get that result. And if they don't have, you move on to the next institution. So let's see right here. Gonna check. Oh, they have a section for scholarship, student research. Okay, awesome. Gonna type. Okay, I can already see the vast majority of our higher degree research students are supported through a tuition waiver and a stipend of around Australian dollars, 35,000 to 45K. So you can already see that right here. Vast majority. I typically control F, like I said. I type fund. I start with fund because different schools, different terms. Oh, see right here, fully funded coursework and PhD structure program, like fully funded, both for coursework and PhD. See, just right there, just by me using my search option because I don't want to read through. Sometimes I don't know, they might not use assistantship, so assist, I can see assist, but is it nah, research plus research assistant? So like, okay, I can interpret that to mean assistantship to an extent. So every school different things, but those are various terminologies that you can use to search for options and like key terms like Control F, Command F, to like depending on your laptop or what system you're using to search for funding opportunities. So let's say I'm searching for a master's in mathematics, fully funded master's in mathematics. You can see everything I've been doing fully funded. Like I've not even had to like say like scholarship in blah blah blah. Now if I'm looking for specific scholarships, then yes, I might do a different video on just how to search for scholarships in general. But for today's video, I'm just doing fully funded programs, so that's why I'm doing this. So I'm saying fully funded mathematics, and let's say I'm being specific in USA because I want to study in the US. Remember earlier, I just used like fully funded PhD in English, left it broad. But now I'm interested in mathematics, and of course, your results would differ by location or um differ by location or like maybe search engine. Maybe if you're using Bing through Microsoft Edge or whatever it is, it might be different. But overall, this I just right click. I would of course open all of these links. I go through everything. I personally check a lot. Oh, look at my website on here. Yay. Okay. But yes, this is how I just go through. I just keep on searching and I click on the institution to see what results comes up on there. So this is just a list. I would check the hyperlink. Okay. Where would this take me to? Will it take me to the institution? If it would, I would open in a new tab. And if not, and this hyperlink on my website definitely takes you to the main page. So I could do this, click, takes me to the main page, and a new tab, which is great. And I just read through. Okay, right here, I can see it's literally staring at me in the face. Financial aid announcing. Okay, financial aid. Applying for an MS or PhD degree exercise an application for financial support. Awesome. Add this information, copy this link, save it. So I know that okay, if I'm pursuing a master's in mathematics, I would be considered for funding. Now, would I get it? I don't know, but I would be considered for funding at this institution. And like I also mentioned earlier, like I search for opportunities within other department on campus. So just kind of retracing and showing you another institution again. Of course, every institution is different. Some schools might not have this, but let's say Illinois State University, I might go to their student life and see, okay, do you have funding opportunities? What funding opportunities do you have if you have funding opportunities? Because student life is another unit on campus that is non-academic, and it typically houses various departments like housing, like multicultural office, like veterans office. That's various offices on campus that support um, students everywhere. So let's say, for example, and actually, let's see. Let me go through graduate admissions to see if they have like a page on funding. I'm gonna go back to admissions. I said admissions. Like graduate students. I can also go through the international student page. Some of them have like information on funding. So a lot of times I would go through, do they have anything on funding? Actually, they even have like a tuition waiver page, and then they have an assistantship page. So we're going to click on both. I'm going to right click on both. I'm going to start with tuition waiver to see what information is there. So they have a specific scholarship for graduate degree seeking individuals that seek to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, I guess this is the only one, but I guess it's a tuition waiver option, which will waive your tuition. Okay, awesome. An assistantship, they have an online posting, which is awesome, I guess, like, because this is like a can go through some of this. But back to what I said I was going to check. So let's say I was going through the student life uh, website. I'm going to try to wrap up this video soon. I don't want it to be excessively long, but um, let's say housing, for example. Let me go through the housing page. All right. I typically will go to the about me, whether this is housing, whether it's student recreation center, whatever office it is. Because a lot of times they have like an employment section right here. Or under the about me page, I check some of their staff to see if they have the list of their staff. And if they have the list of their staff, do they have a grad assistant on their staff? And if they do, I possibly will check, will they possibly have an opening soon? You never can tell. So I click on this employment to see, and under here, I can already see graduate assistantship. They have student employment, but student employment is just student employment. It is not necessarily assistantship. Now, some schools might have it differently, but a lot of times it is just employment where you just get paid per hour and not necessarily assistantship. So I'm going to click on assistantship, and they tell me that, okay, University Housing Services offers 5 types of assistantship to be available position. I should click on here. Probably take me to that website I clicked on through the graduate page. I'm still gonna click on it. I don't want to. I'm gonna go back because I want to open in a new tab. I don't want to exit this page here. So compensation stipend of 1,000 plus per month and the tuition waiver. So I know that, okay, they will cover tuition they will cover tuition, which is awesome, right? For 3 semesters. All right. So they have a minimum qualification. All right, so I should be in one of these programs. Okay, noted. Or from marketing and assessment assistantship, I should be in one of this program, which is a wide variety of programs, which is really great. Some schools don't specify programs for some of this assistantship. As long as you're admitted into any program in the school, you might be eligible for any of their administrative assistantship, which is like every school, like I mentioned, is so different. So this is what I would do. I will click on it, go there, try to explore it. So let's assume that link brought me to this page, which it probably did. Can see assistantships right here. I would go through each of this, okay, and see which one I'm eligible for. So within housing, this is one of the assistantships that we saw earlier on the previous page. And in order to apply, we have to literally come to this page. And I look at the job summary, I look at the salary rate, and then I also look at like the requirements, proposed start date. A lot of times, international students are eligible for assistantships. But also remember that you can't work more than 20 hours on campus. So those are things that you want to like take note of as you go through all of this page. And then apply if you meet the requirements, like if you meet one of the required qualifications. So and then same thing, I will check since this school has a listing of assistantships, I will check for other opportunities. So this one is STEM Alliance. I'll go through it, check the pay rate, check the required documents. And I see here that I must be a degree seeking graduate student at Illinois State University in any of this program: biology, chemistry, CSPA, mathematics, physics, teaching and learning, or technology, which is quite broad. So if I'm pursuing any of these fields, I know that, oh, I am eligible, and then I would apply. So overall, this is how I check for opportunities. Every school is different, but essentially we want to make sure to check out every inch of course, maybe not every inch, but almost everywhere on their websites for opportunities. You work your way from your program page, and then you find your way to like maybe their student life page to see if they have administrative or engagement assistantships. Essentially, just check every page as much as possible. Check their financial aid page. So typically, financial aid page might be like under admissions or even under like graduate admissions. It could be there. They have like a scholarship page if you're searching for scholarships. But for this video, I'm doing like fully funded programs because a lot of times for scholarships page, they're usually geared towards like undergraduate students. And this video are focused on graduate students, which is why I really focused a lot on assistantships and fellowships. So this is how I go through it. I check their website, starts with my program page. Like earlier we were checking mathematics or it was in PhD in English, whichever one, or even chemistry. I would start there. I would go on there, click on it, scroll through it, check what information they have about funding, assistantships. I would read through it and see what it covers, if it's 100% tuition, if they provide a stipend, and how much, even if it waives tuition, like how many credit does it waive. All of those information that are important for me to, as I try to get funding for my program and go to other department or campus and see like if they have assistantship opportunities and if I'm potentially eligible for those assistantship opportunities. So yeah, people, that is it. That is how I navigate my search. And if you have a different approach, please share in the comment section. And there are other ways I actually do navigate my search, but this is like I feel like this is the most helpful to you guys because my approach is a little bit different. So if you have any tips, any suggestions, or even if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a comment section and make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Check out other videos on my channel and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, and definitely check me out on Instagram. Check out our scholarship page on Instagram. We try to post opportunities regularly. Check us out on Facebook as well if you're on Facebook, wherever you are. And check out the website itself. There are a lot of opportunities on there that you can definitely take advantage of. All right, people. With that, I hope you find this video helpful. And if you did find it helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're watching without subscribing. Have a great week ahead. Bye.